Jeffrey Clark has the basketball in his hand. He's ready to go. He's heading towards center court. Bamboye and Rubin are ready to jump center for VCU and Loyola. The semifinal, game one of the Atlantic 10 is set and is underway, and the tip is controlled by VCU.
Yeah, look at this crowd to start. It is absolutely electric in here. I'm looking for an unbelievable title bout here between these two teams.
You just saw Russell with the ball in his hands. Drew Valentine said, that's the guy we got to slow down. How about that? He had 25 the last time these two teams faced each other. Clark to the baseline.
I was going to say that was the first Atlantic 10 game for Loyola, so they are a lot different team since then.
Ball is knocked away. Rubin with a steal. All defensive selection. He blocks shots, and he has quick hands.
And this kid's all defensive player. First 2 years in this league, he's definitely the anchor of this Loyola defense.
Winsu had the ball for a moment. They get it to Watson. Winsu is a big guard, and he can distribute. Watson off the screen. Watson slips it inside for Rubin. Rubin tough off the glass, no good, and Shoga with the rebound.
Tom, keep an eye on that block rate. Again, and the way they block shots is top 10 of the country. That ignites their break.
Clark off the side of the rim. He can hit the three. In fact, he's had a really good run for VCU offensively. Winsu kicks it out. That's one of the goals. Gets it to Dawson for three. Drive in, kick out.
Drive in, kick. And again, when you're playing against this VCU team, because they block the shots so well, you want to draw bees to the honey and kick to open shooters. David Dawson is one you want to kick to for sure.
Yeah, he was out for a month in the month of December, and that really hurt Loyola after they got off to an 8-0 start. Not a good pass from Bamboye, trying to find Bamboye to lift the lid off this building. Edwards slips it to Watson. Rubin, he'll set some screens. Edwards again. Edwards for three. No good off the side of the rim. Ball tipped around. Shoga with another rebound. Here's Clark. Nice catch. High stepping in. Reverses his layup and lays it in.
That's what they do. And think about this. That kid is 6'10". I mean, that shows you the versatility of Jack Clark. He's been playing fantastic. He's their best three-point shooter. But a nice little euro there by the big guy.
Averages 11 points per game in conference play, which is a couple points more than the non-conference schedule. Rubin has it swiped away by Shoga, but Shoga did step out of bounds. This is what we talk about with Shoga, the fact that he can do so many things on the floor, Chris.
He just advances the basketball, finds the open player. We reference he had 2 points, but 11 assists, and that's what makes him so special. This team, when they pass the basketball, they're virtually impossible to beat.
And all those numbers that you talked about across the board, the Atlantic 10 hasn't seen anything since Rick Brunson back in 94-95 for Temple, as Rubin tries two, gets the second to go.
Well, I know one thing, Rick Brunson's going to be happy you brought his name up.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
He's got a son that's pretty good, right?
He sure does. As long as that ankle's okay. Shoga for three. Again, off the mark. They've missed a couple of threes out of the gate. Winsu bobbling as he goes into the paint. So there's a double dribble. We talk about VCU, and over the years, their defense has traveled. Well, it's also played really well at home, but this is just some of the things they do so well.
I mean, this is one of the reasons why I believe they're an NCAA tournament team. No matter what happens, this team, again, offensively, they're absolutely fantastic. But defensively, they guard as one of the best teams in the country. The block rate, the steal rate. We're talking about 15 times this season, 15 turnovers or more they forced. This team is unbelievable defensively.
Bamboye's got some ups over the top of Rubin.
See, that's what's so deceptive about this team. Although they're the best three-point shooting team in the league, they get in the paint, and they're very disruptive.
Well, speaking of that, the last time these two teams faced each other, that was the difference. VCU outscored Loyola 40-22 in the paint and 30-5 on second-chance points.
It's the problem you have. You can't turn the ball over here, right here. Nice cut. Ryan Odom, get that pin out and drum on that board. He knows how to really offensively find what his team needs to do. Bamboye, obviously a guy that can go off the dribble, but he also plays well without the basketball.
Back-to-back turnovers for Loyola. I know we talked to Drew Valentine before the ball game, and that was one of the points of emphasis that the two of you had, you two coaches. Bamboye for three. It's good.
Right on point, right? I say he plays well without the ball. If Bamboye, he's a wild card, Tom. Sometimes he can get out of control of that. You go again. You see Sheldon Edwards say, hey, get down here. You know what I'm dealing with. The Rams, there's something else.
Here it is. Watch this
Look at that
rhythm.
screen right there.
Yep.
That's just, you can't ask for a better player to set that screen. A freshman doing that and getting Bama still open.
I think that's a good point,
Great
too,
offense.
is that Bamboye is a freshman and is surging as the year has gone on. Winsu will carry the ball a lot, carry the bulk of the ball responsibilities a lot. He had Clark on him.
It leaves them in assists, which is nice. They lost their big-time point guard earlier this season.
Yeah, Dawson off the front of the rim. Russell with the rebound. He nearly double-dribbled. Bamboye catch and knocked away. Well, what a save by Jaden Dawson. First half. All around college hoops, and most definitely here in Washington, D.C., we mourn the passing of Washington Post and best-selling author John Feinstein. I knew John for 30 years. I knew him as a frequent guest on my radio shows. I knew him as a partner on TV and radio games. And I knew him as a man who had great ability to write and offer an opinion that was hard to match. And the Atlantic 10, where he was coming to cover, has left a spot open for him with his credential, with a placard of the upcoming tournament. John passed away at the age of 69 just the other day, here on the doorstep of the NCAA tournament, a time that he loved so much. And our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and all of his friends. He is going to be dearly, dearly missed for the game of college basketball and for golf.
Yeah, no question about that. And shout out to the A-10 for keeping his spot and honoring him for his accomplishments to the game.
Well, he would have loved this matchup today between VCU and Loyola. That is the first team foul against the Ramblers as Shoga will inbound. It's a little havoc we talk about so often. Bama Seal, hesitation. Well, he got bumped. Deloach, the former VCU Ram, was able to pick it up along the baseline. Deloach down low, keep an eye on him. He wants to certainly play well against his former team, but that happens sometimes. Here's Watson for three, off the side of the backboard. I'm not sure why he shot that. The shot clock does not reset. VCU feels like that ball went out of bounds.
The crowd are letting the referees have it right now.
Here's Dawson. Dawson slips it in. What a great pass. And Wakoria was not able to connect on that one. So here's this shot by Des Watson, Chris.
Yeah, he shot it quickly. I don't know why he shot it.
But it went up the top of the backboard. So that is in play. It wasn't the back of the backboard. It was the top of the backboard.
Drew Valentine, Jeff Clark going over, giving him an explanation of what happened. But also, Loyola's still struggling to score inside the interior.
Yeah.
It looks, you can't score on these guys. You can challenge them all you want, but that's what they do great.
That foul is on Bama Seal. Tomorrow morning at 8:30 Eastern, head across the Atlantic for some world-class pitch play. It's a Scottish Professional Football League matchup as the league leader Celtic host the Rangers in the Old Firm Derby right here on CBS Sports Network. Bama Seal will check out. That's his first foul. The freshman Brandon Jennings will check in. He had some valuable minutes yesterday.
I think I've always told him in their practice facility, I just feel like I've coached VCU. How many games have I done for them?
I've done a lot of games.
One of my favorite players, a local kid, a freshman. Gives him quality minutes off the bench.
A little slip pass to Deloach, who slams it home with two hands, and he says something to the VCU bench. Again, he's a former VCU
yes.
Ram who played very well for Mike Rhodes when he was there.
Yeah, third team all A-10 performer. Dropping a dime. We talked about the freshman, how much I like him. No rotation there. Got a dunk for Loyola.
And Shoga's able to snake his way right to the basket. Two-point game.
Yeah, I was going to say, so deceptive. You talk about three-point shooting, getting into the paint. They're big guards. You got Zeb Jackson in the game along with Shoga. That's what they do very effectively.
Shoga had 2 points yesterday. It put him over 1,000 in 2 years as a member of VCU. Only the fourth player in school history to have 1,000 points or more in 2 years. Deloach into the paint, out of control.
Yeah, a little bit out of control, as you say, Tom. He's got to calm his emotions down playing against his former team. You see Shoga, you see that screen right there by Furman. As he comes off that screen, good screen, Furman's rolling, and because he's rolling, he takes Deloach out of the play, and Shoga, such a big guard, can extend to the rim and finish.
Almost 6 minutes into this first half, 2-point lead for VCU. Zeb Jackson, so important off the bench for the Rams.
He's got to mix and match there with Rubin. Let's see what he does with it.
Little jab step, now puts it on the deck, into the paint, deep into the logo. Blocked away by Rubin. He gets it back, though.
Yeah, don't want to do that, though. Nope. Rubin's too good.
Shot clock is at 8. He lets it go, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds. Miles Rubin, 76 blocks in each of the last 2 years. He has now established a career high with that one right there for a season.
And he was a big-time recruit when Loyola Chicago got him. And he's been the defensive anchor, shall I say, for this program and why they've been so good the last 2 years.
There you go. See what he's done so far in 2 seasons. There's that screen, a little hesitation. Shoga so good with the ball, and a little pump fake, and Rubin's called for the foul.
That's just the X factor there, the X meaning experience. Getting into the lane, staying on 2 feet, under control, shot fake. Again, getting Rubin in the air. That's what you want to do. Once you get him up, it's nothing he can do. You absorb the contact, and you go to the line.
So he's to the free throw line, where he did not start well this year. Last year, he was 88% from the free throw line, Chris. Non-conference play, he was 57 for 82, which is 70%. That's a drop of 18%, obviously. So he's now 62 of his last 70 from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's amazing, the dichotomy between those 2 things. But I'll tell you this kid in crunch time, he's the guy you want on the line for sure, the A-10 player of the year. I really enjoy watching him play. You never rattle him. We sat with him yesterday. Just a great disposition about him. And one thing for sure, he loves Coach Odom, and he loves playing for this VCU program.
Well, it's a 9-2 run. He's already exceeded his point total from yesterday, which obviously wasn't hard. He has 4 today. Let's see if Loyola can answer. Edwards to Rubin. Rubin looking for Watson. Watson back to Edwards. Nice shot fake. Sets his feet. Gets it to go.
And that's exactly what I talk about when you drive into the paint, right? Because VCU is such a team that blocks shots and ignites their breaks. If you drive and kick and you pitch the ball, they're snipers around the arc for the Ramblers.
Jennings, right side of the lane. That may have been a moving screen.
Yeah, he got away with. Not calling that today.
Ball's knocked away by Edwards. Shot clock is at 2. Shoga lets it fly. Oh, man, that had a chance to go in.
Certainly look good for him where we're sitting.
And now Loyola could take the lead, down 1. Good cut by Watson. Pull up, Jay. Good. He got the friendly bounce.
Loyola's in a rhythm offensively right now. That's very important. Drew Valentine, an excellent coach in his own right, a young coach, and the faithful, they're behind the bench. They're saying, get up.
Yeah, their emotional leader, their coach, Drew Valentine, who the players say they love because he's like them on many different levels. Trying to get the crowd into it. Clark thought about it. Shot clock under 10. I don't know if Jackson realized it. He just looked up. Shot clock is at 4. I don't think he's going to give it up. Jackson, shot clock is at 2. Spinning jumper. Good.
So good. See that heavy, that twitch muscle that this kid has, one of the best in the country. He's got jets. And that was an unbelievable shot to turn and spin around.
Sheldon Edwards dribbles it off his foot out of bounds.
Tom, I told you this was going to be a good one.
1-point lead for VCU, 13-12 moments ago. A.J. Ross cut off with Ryan Odom.
Coach, your team has been known to set the tone early with your defense, but Loyola Chicago hanging in so far. What more do you want to see on that end of the floor from your guys?
Yeah, I mean, both teams are playing hard right now. Both teams are feeling one another out. It's pretty physical out here. It's tournament play, a lot on the line, and I think both teams are doing well.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Ryan Odom told us yesterday that if his team plays solid defense, the way they played yesterday, the way they played this year, then they're going to have a really good time to get to the A-10 championship. They have to keep that intensity up, though.
They certainly do. And listen, we know what's at stake right now for VCU. They had an unbelievable season. Tom, we've covered them a number of times. And Ryan Odom's a cool customer. You can't rattle him. I'll try to ask him some questions about the bubble. He pops me every time when I try to get him to reference, hey, are you guys feeling the pressure? Just a superb coach in this VCU program. And I'll tell you one thing, nationally underrated. right, what this team, and I believe, Tom, in my estimation, that they should be in the NCAA tournament, especially if they win today.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. I think they've played well enough, and I think they can win a couple of games in the NCAA tournament as well. Jackson gives it off to Clark. Bamisiel back in. Bamisiel just took a few minutes on the bench after picking up his first foul. He draws the contact but can't get the bucket. Furman with the rebound. Russell can't convert. Whistle blows out of bounds. And a foul on the floor.
What Drew Valentine talked about, actually talked about that with us right before the game, about how to box out. I think he boxed you out one time, Tom, to illustrate it.
Sometimes he does want to box out because he said that's what he was so good at, the effort of boxing out.
Very important. His team rebounds on 20% of their misses, which is important because that's how they get a lot of their threes as well.
Ball was deflected out of bounds by Edwards. If he was a defensive back, he would have been called for pass interference because he did not look back. But he was just playing defense on Russell. $10 on the shot clock. Didn't face Jackson before. 5 on the shot clock. Off the screen, Jackson, who he's slipped a little bit. Bamisiel for 3, and no good. And a nice rebound by Rubin, who slipped right onto the side of Furman.
Well, they're doing a really good job on that ball screen. They're switching it with Rubin. Now Furman's diving, but really not a post threat. We'll see if they can take advantage of that moving forward in this game.
It's a 9-5 advantage right now for Loyola on rebounds, which is important for Drew Valentine. Extra kick, Edwards for 3, no good. And Jackson with the rebound. Here comes Russell leading the break. Russell, beautiful crossover. Alley-oop to Bamisiel, just a little too much.
Very rarely you see the Rams get sped up too much there. An errant pass there by Russell, but Bamisiel was certainly open. But again, Loyola, they came to play today. They're in this game. No fear, as I mentioned before. When they lost the first time to VCU, that was the first game in the A-10. That was a long time ago. And right now, they're up to the challenge.
You know, remember that game, too. They held Shoga and Bamisiel to 16 points. So they did the job on those two guys. It was Russell who had 25 points, which turned out to be a big part of that game.
Just goes to show you the depth of this program. We already mentioned that Shoga had 2 yesterday, and they still got the dub. And at any time, Bamisiel or Zeb Jackson or Jack Clark can go off. Such an experienced team with a lot of weapons.
Rubin up top, hand off to Watson. Watson to the free throw line. Watson sidesteps to his right, no good. Rebound though by Rubin. Putback is no good, and it's tipped around to Bamisiel with the rebound.
Physical game. Odom is right. They're letting these guys play. A lot on the line to get to the finals of the A-10.
Extra pass to Bell. They reset things on the perimeter for Russell. Yes!
You can see Dawson tell him, good one. Got to get your hands up. Little Russell Jr. like a lightning rod. Look at that right there, playing defense.
Jay picks the pocket. Bell diving to the floor. What a save. Jackson wide open for 3. That's off the line. And grazes off the side of the rim. He was, I think, too open.
Yeah, he's too open. And the fans, listen, the top was going to come off this place if he would have knocked that down. But you see, Tom, that defense, it's relentless. It gets after you, and they wear you down.
More than 3 minutes since the last point for Loyola. They're down by 4. Dawson from the free throw line. Very easy. Can't convert. Wawinsu gets the rebound. Leaves it for Rubin, who has it blocked away by Bamboye. And the putback by Wawinsu. Those were 3 very athletic dudes underneath right there.
Telling you, see why this was one of the 2 of the top teams in the A-10. Very physical, very athletic, and Tom also very experienced.
I think that Loyola certainly heard the call from Drew Valentine to rebound offensively and defensively. They have the edge right now. Bamisiel to Bamboye, back to Bamisiel. Thought about a step back 3.
Got a mismatch.
Spin move, and he's fouled from behind. That's really all Dawson could do. So the action underneath was very physical. They are letting them play.
They certainly are. You see Bamboye, he and Michael Bell, just 2 super athletic players. But again, the pogo sticks going up and down. Tom, I don't know if you made it make it in there. It's a lot going on.
I would have slipped under. I would have been under.
It's a lot of action above the rim.
Bamboye to the free throw line. 38 points his last 5 games. He's just 48% from the line. That'll get better as he gets older, I think.
Yeah, but a talented freshman. And one thing, people talk a lot about NIL. They talk about transfer portal. Some teams are bringing in really good freshmen. I think VCU has done that with Bamboye and Jennings, and they played really good minutes for him this season.
Second free throw. Dawson, by the way, for Loyola just took a seat. He has 2 fouls. So he missed both.
Yeah, you see those metrics are just, again, they don't allow you to score the basketball, just really defense. And that turnover ratio at the bottom, that's the most important thing. And that's how they do a lot of their damage offensively.
Win in the game for Dawson. Deloach back in. Watson, quick step to his right. Couldn't convert. Deloach with the rebound, though. Another offensive board for Loyola. Deloach double teamed inside, pounding his way in. Gets it to Quinn. Little skip pass to Watson. Watson for 3, short. Oh, how about that save? Wow, Wuinsu came in and just slipped it back into the basket.
Very uncharacteristic of the Rams to let him slip through, but you've got to give credit to the Ramblers. They came to fight today. And this time of year, doesn't matter what happens during the season when you play a team. Right now, it's what it's all about.
Shoga trying to answer. Shoga does answer.
And it's about that. That young man being A-10 Player of the Year on cue, behind the back with a step back. That's why players are so good today. When I was playing back in the day, in the Stone Ages time, Rolly Massimino would have never let me take that shot. I'd have been out of the game in 2 seconds.
Oh, here's the thing. You still would have taken the shot.
Oh, you're right about that.
7:15 to play, first half. 7 on the shot clock. Watson just looked up. He's going to keep it. 2 on the shot clock. Watson lets it go, and he is fouled.
It's a back and
you mentioned offensive rebounding being key. You have 10 so far and 8 points in the paint. How efficient have you been with those categories so far?
We've been all right. I think we can do a better job of, like, Kamani got in there. We know that they're going to double him and Jalen Deloach. We can do a better job, like, not waiting till the last second to that's a way for us to put 2 on the ball and play closeout basketball. So as soon as that double comes, we got to get it out, and then we got to continue to make good paint decisions. I don't know. We're struggling to handle the ball right here, but when we've got in the half court, we've been better. So Kamani, I think, has been a beast on the offensive glass. He's got to stay that way.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
I think if AJ had given Drew Valentine a dry erase board,
right.
They had diagrammed everything. It was as if he was coaching while still discussing.
I mean, just a phenomenal young coach. I mean, he's going to be a hot commodity, I'm telling you right now, this spring. But he's done a fantastic job. Again, you take away that 10-win season that he had 3 of the 4 seasons that he's been here. He's averaging 23 wins, Tom. Just with Final Four with Porter Mosier. I mean, just a really, really, really great job.
Watson makes 2. Well, his dad, Carlton, who played at Michigan State, has been a big influence on Drew, is here watching.
Coaching, he said, right?
Well, coaching, yes. Yeah. He's watching. Dave Odom's helping Ryan Odom. There's so many influences for both of these guys, both dads.
There's so much on the line this time of year. Let the madness begin.
Little slip pass from Shoga, and it's stolen away. Lucoria, and that ball is stolen away again, this time by Jennings.
Good heads-up play by the freshman, stopping that break. He's got a very bright future, playing big minutes in a huge game for the Rams.
Yeah, they have 2 freshmen, including Terrence Hill, who also is excellent. Doesn't get as many minutes.
He's got a bright future, though.
He sure
Coming
does.
from the West Coast.
Shot clock is at 7. Bamasil into the paint. Bamasil with one hand grazes the front of the rim. Bell with the rebound. Tough putback.
That's what they do, Tom. We talked to Drew Valentine about that, but that's what you have to stop. Right? You got to bring your lunch pail. You got to bring your hard hat because the fight is in the paint.
3-point lead for VCU. Watson for 3 from the corner. It's good.
Great offense. Great screen there. Broad play there. I mean, that was the play they needed for sure to score. Watson knocking down a triple.
Shoga into the paint. He's caught. Gives it to Bell. Pivots. The whistle blows. That foul is on Lucoria. There's Carlton. Carlton Valentine, Drew's dad, he's been up, he's been down, he's been up, he's been clapping, he's been doing all kinds of things.
Hey, he knows he's on the screen. He knows he's on the screen.
He likes
that
this
right there. See that screen right there? Great shoulder. Trying to take the scenic route. You cannot do that when you're playing this guy that had 25 the last game. Very important that you guard Watson the right way. Those dads always find a way to get on the camera, right?
Well, they have so much influence. We should pay it
That's
off.
how your son would be. Your son's big-time announcer now. If you were there, they would show you, telling him how to hold his headset. You know how it is. You guys are something else.
Shoga may have gotten away with a walk. Furman got away with a bunny hop. He can't convert.
It's got to go up top. You at least got to get a foul there. Can't avoid contact when you're that size, when you're that close to the rim.
Zeroing it on 5 minutes to play in the first half. All tied up at 21. Low-scoring game so far. Shot clock winding down. Edwards to the corner. Quinn for three. That's shallow.
Not his game.
Nope.
Not his game. He's a driver.
And Jennings has it knocked away at midcourt, but a foul is called on Quinn.
Frustration foul there. Again, Quinn is a driver getting to the rim, and now you're going to put him on the foul line possibly. No, they're not the bonus yet.
We saw that last night in the St. Joseph's Dayton game. Malachi Smith missed a free throw and then got called for a foul seconds later. It's that frustration wanting to do more. During the month of March, CBS Sports celebrates Women's History, honoring the role of women inspiring generations to move forward together.
Good game, Tom. Both teams going back and forth. I thought it would be, as well as the VCU has played. Loyola, man, winning 8 of their last 9 games, playing good at the right time is what they're doing.
And they've been banged up this year. We've talked about Justin Moore being out with the ACL tear. There's Clark leaning in off the glass.
So much experience. Clark playing on the Elite 8 team last year. He's had a few years in college, right?
He has. Somebody asked us today if he was going to play his 7th year. Loyola looking to answer.
That's college basketball today. You got a lot of experienced players out there.
Does Watson can't convert. Zeb Jackson with the rebound. Here's Russell wide open from the corner for three. Splash.
Can't do that. You've got to sprint back. Kids are taught to run to the paint. In today's game, you got to run to a player, particularly behind the arc.
Largest lead. It's only 5, but VCU on top by 5. Told us yesterday, he said he has become the ultimate winning player. He said earlier in his career, he probably wouldn't have done what he did yesterday, but now he's a veteran. He understands there are a lot of different ways to impact winning. And right now his team is on top by 5 as a foul is called on VCU and Jack Clark.
And then back to that comment, that's just a maturation process, Tom. I think it's important. I know a lot of kids want to rush to the NBA, but I think playing in college is important so you can develop that and learn that, and it takes time. Great coaching helps for sure, but it takes time to understand what it takes to win at a high level.
Edwards lost it, got it back. Shot clock under 10. They go to Rubin. Dawson's back in with 2. Watson for 3. No good. Ball deflected. Watson gets it back.
A really good pass out of the post by Rubin. Watson got knocked that one down. You won't get too many of those.
And Wowinsu turns it over quickly to Russell. Now to Jackson. Jackson right to the rim. Foul going up.
Just amazing how these guys just get out in transition.
Well, this is such a seasoned team, too. They've got all these guys with 100 career games or more. I mean,
that is amazing.
Shoga's played 158. Now, not everything's been at VCU. Shulga was at Utah State. Jack Clark was at LaSalle and Clemson. Philip Russell was at St. Louis and Southeast Missouri State and UT Arlington. Zeb Jackson was at Michigan.
I mean, are you serious? I mean, do you have I don't know, people don't know that you're just doing that from memory. You know every last one of these guys.
We have done a lot of VCU
We have done a lot of VCU games, but it goes to show you what's happening in the business right now. Kids are moving around, say, mobile business right now, and they're finding greener pastures. Zeb Jackson was at Michigan. Look at what's happened for his career.
Here comes Dawson into the open floor, and he softly lays it in on a jam. 4-point game, 3:05 to play.
We talk about the Rams' experience, VCU's experience. Loyola's experience as well. Other than Rubin, they got guys that have been around this business in different schools.
Russell was knocked into the baseline. He hasn't gotten up yet. Jackson going right to the rim and feathers it in.
I told you about that fast twitch, that hezzy. You let him, he sees the seas parted and that lane is open. He is getting to the rim, and he is super duper athletic.
And remember the other thing too, he's left-handed, so when he goes right, sometimes they give him a little more latitude.
And he can finish. I'm telling you, like, he gets on 2 feet and he gets leaning in there. It's very tough to stop him.
Dawson could not finish there. Shulga with another rebound. Leaves it for Jackson.
It's changing directions.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Look at this.
Down low for Furman and just making his teammates better.
As I said before, you see Zeb Jackson in the crowd letting him have it. When he gets into the paint, right, all types of things happen. See that hesitation right there? I mean, it's just second to none in this league. There's no rotation, the lack of rotation there, right, by Winsu causes Furman to get a nice little and one. He's got to knock it down, though.
All right, so you think Furman was as surprised as anybody that they got that pass?
yeah. Zeb Jackson usually going to take that to the hoop. But, again, he's been, knocking this down. That's another thing that's great for them. Furman knocking down this free throw. And right now, Tom, this is what happens in these games with VCU. We've seen them all too many times. Crowd gets into it. We're not at the Siegel Center, but it kind of feels like it.
It does feel like
it. They get on a run.
Watson has it swatted away from behind by Clark. Deloach got the rebound. Now he kicks it out. Winsu will reset the offense. Under 2 to play. 9-point lead. It's an 11-2 run for the Rams.
See Ryan Odom telling Zeb Jackson to get up on the Winsu, make him handle the basketball.
Off the screen, Winsu bumps. Shot clock is at 2. Dawson throws it up. It's no good. It's a violation. Doesn't matter. Russell coming up the floor. Step back 3. Yes!
Oh, my goodness. It happens fast, Tom. It happens fast. And here they go.
Look at this defense, and look how it leads to offense.
We talked about it in the open. You drive to the rim, you don't finish, and look what happens. Quickly. This is Curry-like, Steffordless. Bill Russell. He hurt them the first time they played him, Tom, and he's doing it all over again. Number 1, calling his own number with the one-man fast break.
VCU started 1 for 7 from beyond the arc, 4 for its last 5. It's an 8-0 run. They've built it to a 12-point lead to close out this first half. And Clark called for the foul. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Kiana Martin, Isis Young, John Henson, Gary Parrish, and Jerry Palm will get you caught up on all the latest conference tournament scores and highlights. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half.
It's a good crew in there. Got Ice in there. John Henson, I feel bad for Carolina. That was a tough loss yesterday. But Jerry Palm, not a lot of bid stealers out there this year, Thomas.
Well,
it'll be tough. That last 4 ends is going to be very interesting to see what happens. And Gary Parrish, also the hardest working man in show business.
And Deloach is cut off at the hip by Zeb Jackson. That's the first foul on Zeb Jackson.
What you're witnessing, Tom, is, and we've seen this before, the Rams lull you to sleep, and all of a sudden it's a combination. Body blow, body blow, body blow. Next thing you know, you're out on the floor, knocked out. They have depth, right? They have an excellent coach. They can shoot the ball, and they love defense. And you get a team like that, and the last thing I'll say is power to pass. Ooh, right here.
Well, you talked about Jerry Palm. And here you go. Last 4 in, first 4 out.
This John Henson right there, question mark. Rodney Terry, question mark. Man, I don't know. If I'm San Diego State, I'm sweating. These 2 teams right here, I'm sweating it right now, right? And we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's up to the committee.
How about Boise State? How are they feeling right now?
Yeah, that Boise State's feeling real good. They beat New Mexico.
Well, that is
They're
true. That
moving
was
on. I think Boise State's in great position. Everyone's watching Colorado State. They're the one team, right, that wasn't projected in the field. That's a bid stealer. And I've been there this time of year as a player and as a coach. And unfortunately, you get your pom-poms up. You're cheering against certain teams.
What was easier to handle, player or coach?
Oh, coach, easier. As a player. You don't know any better as a player.
Deloach made the first free throw. Here's his second to make it a 10-point game. Closing minute of the second half. Made one, missed one. VCU has made its last 5 shots.
take their time here.
Quick first step for Russell.
Yeah, good ISO. Shulga to come off the ball screen at the end of the shot clock.
Shot clock is at 10. Shulga's along the baseline, kicks it off to Bell for 3, way short. Saved by Shulga. Shot clock did not reset. DeLoach with the block. DeLoach, who's, we mentioned it before, former VCU Ram, he wants to do well against his former team. He's booed every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, they don't forget, right?
Nobody does anymore. Edwards for 3. It's good. What a catch. What a toss. Count the bucket, but a foul on Loyola.
Looked like that foul was on. Let's see here. They pushed him in. Oh, yeah, he pushed Russell.
So I think it was Wakoria. Yep.
Yeah, pushed.
What's there, number 35. I will say this, doing all these games in the Atlantic 10, Phil Russell does have the ability.
Come on, don't say it.
Yes.
Don't say it.
He can act a little bit,
come on.
but they are reviewing for a flagrant.
I knew you were going to say that. He got hit pretty hard there.
23.8 to play. So here it is again.
Phil can be a little spicy at times.
I'm okay with it.
He likes, you know.
I think it's all part of the
thespian, you know what I'm saying?
There you go. Yeah, he's a thespian. That's right.
He's a thespian, but that was a pretty hard foul there. So you've been doing too many football games in the NFL. So
I'm okay with it. I'm just letting you know that I'm entertained by it sometimes. Here it is again. Watch down low.
Yeah, he hit him pretty hard.
It's a big man.
He hit him pretty hard. I mean, now the end of it when he hit the ground, it was very soccer-like.
All right, so the officials taking a look at it. There's Lamar Simpson to your right, Tim Clougherty to your left. Jeffrey Clark already looked, so here are the rules. Flagrant 1, excessive in nature, unnecessary contact, but not based on severity. Flagrant 2, not only excessive, but severe and extreme. I don't see that.
Definitely not a flagrant 2.
Right.
Definitely not a flagrant 2. If they upgraded to flagrant 1, I wouldn't be shocked if they upgraded it. Just again to control this game.
Yeah,
make sure it doesn't get out of hand because it's been pretty physical.
One more look here. Yeah, the shoulder did lower.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to raise his arms up. You know, obviously, it's because of the way. And you see, Wakoria saying like, "What did I do?" And you might be right. Phil might have added a little bit onto it. He might have put a little mustard on it.
Again. It's all part of the game.
The basket is good. We have a common foul, 1-1. VCU, number 1, shoots 1-1.
You see the official Lamar Simpson coming over saying, come on, Chris.
All right, so Lamar Simpson's going to come over and let us know it's a common foul, but Russell will shoot. Thank you, Lamar.
Great officiating crew.
So Russell will go to the free throw line. Russell's had a solid first half. He has 9 points. Again, he had 25 in the last game against Loyola.
He's been a great addition. You know, you talk about the portal, and some teams have gone into the portal and it hasn't worked out great. He's a welcome addition to this team and has fit in like a glove for VCU.
So 1-1 with 23.8 to play. Converts the first. Russell's a solid free throw shooter. He's over 80%. He has over 1,700 points in his college career. Started at St. Louis. Didn't play a whole lot. But then started to really emerge the next 2 schools. Missed the second one. All right, this is a decent-sized possession here for Loyola to wrap up this first half.
You're right about that. They need some momentum going into the locker room. Certainly don't want to get a turnover and get this VCU team excited once again for the big lead.
Edwards got some space. Edwards can't convert. Russell has it. 3 seconds left. Russell across midcourt lets it go. And the bank shot is no good. And VCU will go into the locker room on top. 36-27. In some ways, Loyola Chicago probably pleased that they're not down by more at this point.
Yeah, they certainly battled them, but we also saw a battle-tested VCU team, and we saw what they're elite at. And that's, again, getting the ball out in transition and creating turnovers and scoring with their defense.
Let's check in with A.J. Ross, who caught up with Drew Valentine.
That's right. Drew Valentine said he was pleased with the way his team dominated the boards and spread the ball around, but he said they got to finish better at the rim, and they have to stop rushing their mid-range shots. On the other end of the floor, he said when VCU gets into their drop coverage, he wants to see more physicality out of his team, guys.
You know, AJ, he talked about that yesterday, how he wants his team to be more physical, that it's not about ability, it's about effort when it comes to that. I thought he got that a little bit with the offensive boards in the first 10 minutes of the game, but he wants it across the boards.
I mean, listen, you're trying to beat a very well-balanced team that has experience, size, and can shoot the basketball, and they defend at elite level. Toughness, you add that to it, and you're telling me, or I'm telling you why I believe this team's the NCAA tournament team. Look at guarding the ball right now, like 6'10" guy guarding the ball. That is the versatility of this team, but you're right, toughness is important.
Well, Winsu feeds a diving Miles Rubin to start this second half, and he's able to slam it home. It's 36-29. We will see if the 1 seed can move on. VCU last year made it to the championship, but they did so as the 5 seed before losing to Duquesne. Bamisiel along the baseline. Bamisiel hops to the basket, and he's very quick with even that second and third step.
He's a very quick first step, and because he's a very good three-point shooter, somewhat streaky this season, it's really hard to guard him because when he gets in the lane, he's athletic enough to finish.
He has 7, Shulga has 7, Russell has 10. Those are the leaders for VCU. Rubin trying to set the screens, pivoting and facilitating to Dawson. He didn't play a whole lot in the first half because he had 2 fouls. Watson with the shot clock at 8. That's a tough shot. With the hand in his face, Shulga's defense has been excellent today.
Yeah, just ended the shot clock. I would drive that basketball if I was Dawson on that situation.
Bamboye, and he was probably too open. He didn't realize that there was no body on him.
He's got to set his feet up to go and dunk that basketball. He should be expecting that pass if his defender leaves him.
38-29, 18 and a half to play in the second half. Watson gives it off to the left side. Dawson has that shot partially blocked by Clark. So 2 threes right out of the gate for Loyola after the slam. Not able to convert those 2 threes.
And think about it, they got in the lane to get that lob. These 2 threes, no penetration. Got to move the basketball, get in the lane. Good things will happen.
Bamboye switched his hand, can't convert, gets his own rebound though. Bamisiel from the corner, no good. And Rubin, who was out on him defensively, corrals it.
Loyola's got to slow themselves down. They got to move the basketball. You got to force this VCU team to move from side to side and get some closeout situations so they can tilt the floor and get into the interior of that defense.
Edwards to a cutting Dawson. Dawson into the paint. Fadeaway jumper. No good.
Yeah, he didn't have to fade as much, but I still like the action off the curl cut because instead of dribble penetration, that cut got him into the lane.
And it gave him great space, too. Here's the alley-oop, and Bamboye can't finish, but he's fouled going up.
That was a little scary right there.
A little scary.
Going up high.
Couple of big bodies.
Just coming off that ball screen, you see Rubin having to help there, and because he has to help, they call that help up screen, help uphill on that screen. And then you see Sheldon Edwards, he's got to come in and he's got to help. He's got to be the rotation guy in that situation. But, you know, when Bamboye is flying like that, I don't know how much help Edwards would have been.
Bamboye had 2 free throw attempts in the first half, missed both. Here's the first of this one, and it's no good. So 0 for 3.
So there's a theory in basketball where if you have a big that cannot score in the post, you be very aggressive with them. You force them to go to the foul line, and it almost ends up like being a turnover because they don't make the foul shots.
And this is overall a good free throw shooting team, too. Top 100 in the country. And Bamboye does make 1. And it's now a 10-point game. The largest lead in the first half was 12 for VCU.
Increasing that pressure, knowing there's not a true point guard from Loyola. You got to Winsu having a guard bring the ball up against Jack Clark, and see how they're just pushing up on him. They're forcing Watson, who's a scorer, now to initiate offense. Very difficult.
And Dawson wasn't ready for that pass. Here's Bamisiel, and he lost it out of bounds. Tomorrow at 6 Eastern, CBS is the first to reveal this year's bracket on the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show. The road to the Final Four is on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Automatic bids.
Man, so cool. Look at this. I mean, look how it lights up.
I love it.
Listen, there are a lot of good teams. I don't want to mark this board up. I'm going to tell you some teams you got to watch out for. Will Wade, they're playing great. Gonzaga, there are teams you have to Drake. Ben McCollum, there are some teams out there. This is going to be an exciting NCAA tournament. Don't be like my grandmother. She doesn't want to put her NCAA bracket as Jalen Quinn drives in pen. She likes to put it in pencil so she can erase. I'm like, come on now.
Well, it's an 8-point game as Quinn was able to get to the basket and lay that one in.
Quinn's so effective. You can't let him get downhill with that left hand.
Bamasil trying to answer, kept his pivot foot, swatted away by Deloach.
See, I like Bamasil, but sometimes he gets out of control, Tom. He that's the kind of stuff that gets him in trouble. Just play under control. He's a really good offensive player.
They're going to get Deloach for the foul. Fans love it, the VCU fans. Again, Deloach played for VCU. Had a good second year with them before he transferred to Georgia. Averaged 9.7 points per game as a sophomore under Mike Rhodes.
Yeah, you understand VCU and the pride that they have in Richmond, Virginia. We've done some games in the Siegel Center. There's an electric atmosphere, and people can say mid-major stuff all they want. Not that they're saying it about VCU. That is a high-major situation there, Tom, with their facilities and their support.
Shot clock at 20. That foul, by the way, is the second one on Loyola. Shoga off the screen. Shoga weaves into the paint. Shoga has it knocked away momentarily to Russell. A lot of traffic in that area with the shot clock winding down.
Good defense, lateral defense, great possession by Loyola. That's what that's what's gonna have to take to keep those guys out of the lane and get back in transition.
And Quinn got 3 steps ahead of the defense to lay it in. He makes it a 6-point game.
The uncharacteristic transition defense there by VCU, giving Loyola some life here.
Shoga pinballing in and out. Long 3 for Clark. It's an air ball, and Loyola will get the basketball back. 15-15. Yeah, so far both teams trying to muscle their way to the finals of the Atlantic 10 Championship. Right now VCU is on top 39-33 over Loyola. The winner of this one will play tomorrow on CBS at 1 o'clock Eastern time. And they'll take on the winner of Game 2, which is going to be a rock fight. George Mason and St. Joseph's coming up after this one. It is an excellent crowd. The lower bowl is filled on both sides.
Great bands. Both bands are really good. Fun game.
See, VCU is 1 for 7 here in the second half. Loyola has 6 points in this second half, and all 6 are in the paints.
Thomas, you referenced, again, just the physicality of this game.
See the bracket with George Mason and St. Joseph's coming up later. Remember last year it was Duquesne, a 6 seed that went to the championship, went to the NCAA tournament.
Day Clark.
Under 16 minutes to play here. Rubin. Tough pass to Watson, covered up by Shoga. Watson kept his pivot foot. Bounce pass underneath. Shot clock is at 5. They got to get something going here. Dawson, shot clock is at 3. He's in trouble. Shot clock at 2. Lets it go. No good. And the rebound by Des Watson. And Watson's put back blocked away by Shoga, who will be called for the foul.
They're giving VCU a dose of their own medicine by offensive rebounding, creating second opportunities. See Watson here driving on Shoga, taking his time, dropping a dime to the cutter. Just playing solid defense. That VCU team, and it's just hard to score on, but getting his second opportunity, Loyola did, and now they're at the line.
And Watson can't convert. He kind of leaned that one in. Des Watson said when he was thinking about transferring to Loyola from Davidson, where he was evolving there, he said, I could hear it in the tone of Drew Valentine's voice what kind of a person he was. I knew how serious he was. He was very relatable. He dresses like we do. He listens to the same music. If I have a problem, I'm going to go to his office and talk to him about it. And he's let me evolve into the player that I am today. He's had 2 very good years at Loyola.
It's called recruiting, and you got to find your fit. That's what's important in this game. If you want to grow your game mentally as well as physically, find the right coach and the right program.
Shogun for three, and he's able to feather it home from deep downtown.
Every time it seems like Loyola Chicago is making some type of run, players like Shogun find a way to quiet the noise.
He joins Russell in double digits for VCU. Russell has not scored in the second half. Each have 10. Watson covered by Jackson. That's not an easy task either, with Shogun now picking up Dawson.
No need to double hit. Just let him guard him one-on-one.
And Rubin loses it. Furman has it to the baseline. Clark saves it. It's loose. Pinballing off the face of Furman and out of bounds. And we'll see who they call the foul against. I guess it's against Clark.
Mention the physicality of this game, Tom. If you want to beat VCU, you got to be, no pun intended, ram tough, because that's what it takes to beat the champ. VCU tied for the conference lead for the championship, but they have been the top of this league for a very long time.
Yeah, they won the regular season title, shared it with George Mason after losing to Dayton in the final game of the year. That foul on Clark, his third, by the way. That's why he checked out. Watson into the paint, trying to force the action. Can't get it to go. Misdirected by Furman. Bell with the rebound.
That's what they're so good at. I mean, those two, trying to score the twos, very difficult, Tom, against this team.
Jackson getting to his strong side. 6 minutes into the second half. Little skip pass. Bell. He thought about it, but gets it to Russell instead. Russell for three. No good off the front of the rim. And the battle for the loose ball. It squirts out. And it's picked up by Dawson. They got to get Dawson going. Dawson for three in rhythm. He's short. I don't know if he had his feet set, but the rebound is pulled down by Wukoria.
That's who's been quiet. Quinn. We need him to get going.
Well, he's trying to get control, and he just couldn't get the shot to go. Another offensive rebound. Watson by Furman, but they call the foul. Initiating the contact, and he'll go back to the free throw line.
That's what you need against this team. You miss. Don't put your head down. Get in there and get physical. As you can see, our red jerseys in the paint. They love it.
Well, his dad obviously getting a chance to watch him play. Family's so invested in this, and why not?
Said every game. They travel to every game.
Watson missed the first free throw. He's missed two now.
Well, Watson's just having a tough game. He's got to just, you see Mom, you can read a list. Come on, baby. Let me show you how to do that. You know how to do it. Do what you do.
23 double-figure games for Watson coming into this one.
So much invested in these kids from the day they start deciding they want to play this game, from AAU to high school, and to get to the point where they are right now, Tom, playing for a chance to go to March Madness. A great feeling for these families.
Jackson working against Edwards. That's a cool matchup basketball-wise, those two guys. Edwards so good defensively.
Keep Jackson out of the lane.
8 on the shot clock. They do keep him out of the lane. They leave it for Jennings. Jennings at the logo. Jennings with 3 on the shot clock. Jennings turns, fires. No good. He plucked it out of the air. Deloach did.
Another quality possession defensively.
This is what they've done against Watson and Dawson today. 4 of 22 from the floor. The VCU defense has been excellent. During the month of March, Jersey Mike's will be collecting donations in support of 200+ local charities. Visit your local Jersey Mike's to participate. Along with Chris Walker and A.J. Ross, I'm Tom McCarthy. Second half action, first of 2 A-10 semifinal games from beautiful Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. Chris spent this morning running the marathon here in D.C. and then came and we got a marathon day.
Spent my morning avoiding it. Jack Clark putting that pressure on the Windsor, trying to get him to turn the basketball over. He's their best assist. Got moving the basketball.
Shot clock is at 5. Wukoria to the basket, blocked away by Bamboye.
Are you kidding me?
That's his third block so far today.
It's like a bug on a windshield. Smacking it.
Step back three, no good. Loose ball, and Deloach with the rebound. There's a guy in the house right now for VCU that would love that block party. It's another one.
Come on now.
42-35. That's 4 blocks.
I mean, are you serious? And you'll give credit, not fouling, but coming out of nowhere. Man, boy, you look at this right here. You see him. There he is. He's watching. There he is coming out of another one with the left hand, Tom. Very, very difficult. He's just a fly swatter.
I think he may have got a piece of that one, too. It's fortunate they didn't call a foul on that. The shot clock will stay at 19. It will be Loyola basketball.
As much as Max Shoulder is a weapon offensively, this guy's a weapon defensively. He really helps them and anchors their defense.
Jackson will check out. Bamasil checks back in. Deloach trying to find Dawson. He does.
Good switch by Bamboye. Got a mismatch.
Deloach tries to fight his way in. Can't get the angle. Ball is loose. And it's out of bounds. Clark just sat on top of him. And it's going to wind up being VCU basketball. Well, speaking of physical play, nobody loved physical play more than Mo Alley Cox, who was the baddest man in Richmond, as he used to say, and now a tight end for the Indianapolis Colts. VCU forward from 2013 to 2017. Let's check in with AJ.
Well, guys, I can tell you during that last timeout, Drew Valentine was emphasizing just that physicality, and he said he was pleased with his team being the aggressor down this most recent stretch, but he also emphasized relentless pursuit. And as he told us in our meetings, he's a guy who was definitely crashing the boards back in his days at Oakland. He finished 4th all time in crashing those boards. So again, he's emphasizing that to his team, guys.
And we did not even have to look that number up, AJ, because he told us he finished 4th in boards at
Yes,
Oakland.
he did. Very confident. I got no problem when it's hey, it's not bragging, it's the truth, Tom.
Well, here we go. That physical play continues. He wanted his team to do it. They did. Deloach from behind. A foul is called on Deloach. It's going to send Bamboye to the free throw line. And now both coaches are going at each other.
Uh-oh. Yeah, listen, I knew during that talk yesterday that they were going to be fired up and they were not going to be afraid. And that's what it was going to take, Tom, if they really want to have a chance to beat these guys.
And they're still talking to each other, Drew Valentine and Ryan Odom. They have great respect for each other. I mean, they're both very competitive. It'll send Bamboye to the free throw line for 2, and he makes the first one. He's made 2 free throws. The art of free throw shooting for Bamboye has gotten better with the last 2.
It certainly has. It's important when big can make them. But getting back to those coaches, you see what's on the line. We know what's on the line. March Madness can drive you a little mad sometimes because there's so much pressure.
Oh, look at that. Picks the pocket of Deloach. And Shulga's so calm, thought about the 3, puts it on the deck. Now the 3. No good. Wow. What would this place have done if he made that? Here he goes again from the right side. No good again. And Clark is going to be called for the foul. It's going to be a pushing foul. That'll be his 4th foul. Look at Shulga from behind here. Whoop.
Just coming in, just being tough. You see Deloach saying, what happened? Somebody took my cookies.
And I know he wanted a foul, but I don't think that was a foul. I think that was just a swipe.
He did a great job of, again, he didn't see him, but you just can see, I'll tell you this, great basketball, Tom, in the Atlantic 10, 2 of the better teams in this league. Well, Loyola's won 8 of 9 games. You see why. And they've been able to do it. Give Drew Valentine credit. And you see a Winston bring the ball up without a point guard. And they found a way to win basketball games. With 11 to go. They're going to have to do something special to beat this VCU team because they're playing for something special as well.
Yeah, down 8. Watson in the paint. Turnaround jumper. Doesn't get the bounce. Bamboye with the rebound.
So hard to score against this team in the interior. That's one of the best things they're good at in the country is that 2-point defense.
Bamasil can't corral it. He didn't time his jump. He's out of bounds. The ball goes out of bounds. The defense of Watson continues here for VCU.
It certainly does, and do a good job. Look at that. You see right in there, just everybody's 3 guys surrounding him. So if there are 3 guys surrounding him, what does that mean, Tom? There's some guys that are open. So he's got to get into the lane. Great being aggressive. That's very important. But if you find some of the other players, it will be equally as important.
Watson is 2 of 13 from the floor. Edwards for 3, and that ends this drought for Loyola. He cans the three-pointer to make it a 5-point game.
Sheldon Edwards is certainly a weapon. He has range. Made 7 threes in the game this year. You see right now, the Loyola faithful is getting into this game. We'll see if VCU can answer.
Loyola won for its last 11 from the floor, but still down by just 5. Each team has gone cool from beyond the arc in the second half.
They've dug in both teams defensively.
Russell slips it. Bamboye is length to the basket.
And it makes it so tough to guard Russell because he can make threes, and then he can use his shot fake and get by you. And if he can make those type of plays, it's important.
Halfway through the second half. Rubin puts it on the deck. Rubin
nice left hand.
Hands. You know the good thing about that, you know this better than I do. He switched hands, and it was a little hook shot, but he leaned to the basket. He was closer to the hoop.
He did, and scored over Bamboye, which is not easy. Showed you how good this kid can be in the future.
Back to a 5-point game. Shulga working against Rubin. Shulga into the paint, has it knocked away, tries the shot fake, keeps his pivot foot.
Good job by Rubin, not leaving his feet.
Jackson, 3 on the shot clock. Jackson goes to the basket, lost it. Bamboye slams it home.
You just got to stay. I know Jackson has that shift. You got to force him. He's a 31% three-point shooter. Force him to make threes, because if he gets in the lane, you can forget it. He can make plays for himself and others.
Rubin high step into the basket.
Another one.
Good shot.
Miles, do your thing, boy. My goodness.
Remember last year of the A-10 all-rookie team. He's 3 for 3 this half. This year, just like last year, all-defensive team.
Says, I'm not just a defensive guy. Throw me the rock.
Jackson lost it, and it's knocked toward the baseline. Saved by Rubin. Well, this is the last 5 minutes of Miles Rubin.
Go right back to him. Looks like he's a little winded.
He does look like he's a little winded. And we've got a timeout. Oh, actually, we might have Dawson may need to check out. May have a little blood. Look at Rubin.
Yeah, going with the left over the shot blocker. Spin move from Chicago. Simeon High School, I mean, a high major recruit for them, and he has developed under Drew Valentine into a special player in this league.
Well, all of a sudden, 5-point game. They can make this a 2-point game with a 3. Now, neither team has really converted threes in this second half.
Go right back to this young man. Get him right in that post.
Edwards kicks it to the corner. Quinn outside. Victoria goes to the basket. Foul. Count the bucket. Muscle shot.
That's the way they got to play. I mean, I felt from day one, if they drive the basketball, get VCU closing out, right, and having to guard them, it's really tough. See right there, that closeout, he goes right past him, blow by, off the glass with the strong finish. A little momentum here by the Ramblers.
Well, Correa goes to the free throw line, near 70% free throw shooter. Converts.
Nothing's given, Tom. You got to take everything.
What do you got, AJ?
Guys, I can tell you, a trainer is over here stretching out Dawson's calves. At first, he was paying particular attention to his left calf, but it seems like they're trying to, loosen them up over here to get him back in the game as soon as possible, guys.
AJ, I'll tell you, the way this crowd has reacted for Loyola, they may be able to lift him right back into the game. Shulga down low. Shulga able to pinball it off the rim and in.
Yeah, he gets that shoulder advantage. Had it angled there. Shot blocker Rubin was not able to get over and try to provide some help.
49-45. This is a ball game.
It is. When you're in trouble, you go to your guys, and that's what they did.
Edwards has it deflected out of bounds by Jackson.
Tom, we got a ball game.
Told us yesterday, he said it's all about winning. Whatever the team needs and whatever the right play is, defensively or offensively, to get us to win is the most important thing. Well, right now, he is in a tough battle because Loyola has clawed within 4. They've got 4 straight makes after 9 straight misses. And the basketball. Rubin to Dawson. Dawson back in. Dawson to the paint. Dawson has it blocked away. Picked up by Rubin. And the putback is good.
And just give Drew Valentine credit. Out of a timeout. You got Dawson going with his dominant hand downhill to the rim. And because, again, the shot blocker leads Furman, left Rubin by himself to clean up.
And Dawson nearly picked, Quinn nearly picked the pocket of Shoga. Russell for three off the side of the rim. And the ball is out of bounds. And it will be Loyola basketball. I will say that LaCoria had to be very careful on that one.
Yes, he did. And see, right here coming off. See, that's like nice little action coming right to the hoop as he comes downhill right there. That's what you want. And when Furman leaves, there's no one to clean up for Miles Rubin. The Rubin cleanup crew with a nice, easy layup.
Quinn going right to the basket. Quinn doesn't get the roll. Rubin is there again. It is all about Miles Rubin right now. He's got 12 points after that made bucket and 7 rebounds. He's tied it at 49.
Certainly true, but give credit to what is due. The penetration, every turnover, things starting to spiral for VCU. Pressure's kicking in, but Loyola playing. They got that eye, that look in their eye, Tom.
Trying to take the lead. Des Watson up top to Dawson for three. No good. But the rebound is run down by Shoga. Here's Russell to Bamisiel. Bamiseal's been quiet in the second half. Bamisiel going to the basket, blocked from behind, and a foul is called on Dawson. Miles Rubin is 5 for 5 in this second half.
He certainly is. Look at that rim run right there. There he is, going right to the rim. Just follow him out. Again, no box out by Russell. You see Russell just standing right there. You got to find somebody to put a body on him. But because, again, look at it right there, just getting right to the top quickly.
AJ, what about Miles Rubin?
You know, guys, it was interesting talking to Drew Valentine about Miles Rubin's leap from year 1 to year 2. And he said it's really been his confidence this year that is exuding everywhere. He's always had this ability, but he's, walking around with his chest poked out, back straight a little bit more. And he's talking to guys with more confidence, and it's showing on the court as well.
Yeah, in fact, the one thing he talked about, he said he's always been a goofy dude. He said he's got a great smile and a great personality.
Not goofy today, Tom. He's giving them the business, and he has provided a lift in a very tough part of the game, pivotal part of the game. He's playing awesome.
Bamisiel missed a free throw, made a free throw to give VCU the lead as Rubin will take a breather. It's fair to point out that Clark is back in with 4 personal fouls.
Well, Clark hasn't been himself today. But it's also fair to say that Loyola has the momentum right now. We'll see if VCU can dig deep, find that metal that they've shown all year, that resiliency against this Loyola team that's playing extremely hot right now.
Watson thought about it.
VCU in that switching defense. Clark's got to be careful.
Shot clock at 5. Watson jumper is no good, and Deloach is called for the foul. He climbed over the back of Furman.
Desmond Watson thinks he got fouled there. Can't believe it. VCU, I'd like to see them get Zeb Jackson or Max Sugar off a ball screen. Get them going downhill. That's their offense, right? Put the ball in the hands of your playmakers and let them make plays.
Well, there you go. He's got it. Covered by Watson. Back to Furman. Right back to Shoga. Shoga for 3. No good. And a rebound by Dawson. 1-point game. VCU on top. Dawson to the logo. Dawson can convert. Too strong.
Almost feel like Loyola Chicago just needs to get the lead, but they can't get it. Jack Clark wide open.
Clark for 3. No good. Too strong again. Dawson with the rebound. Back and forth we go. Misses this time. Heading toward the 5-minute mark. The 2 stars for Loyola scoring-wise are combined 4 for 27. Dawson and Watson.
Watson went through with the pass.
Winsu into the paint, has it blocked from behind by Clark. His putback is good, and Loyola's taken the lead for the first time since it was 12-11 in the first half.
And how did it happen, Tom? It's in the interior. They're getting the interior, being physical, and looks like they're going to call a timeout here.
VCU does call a timeout. 5 minutes to play here in the second half.
This is going to be a game. Think about it. We're talking about that blowout that happened earlier in the season, and I said, hey, forget about that. Loyola Chicago is a different team, and VCU really, Tom, is playing with all the pressure because they were the team that everyone was talking about had a chance to get out of Larsby.
Right. Under 5 minutes to play. Here's Jackson going to the basket. Jackson slams it home. He brings life back to the Rams.
Come on now. Up the elevator, top floor. Oh, what a game.
52-51. Watson from the free throw line cannot convert. He and Dawson have combined to miss their last 17 shots.
Foul up.
And now the battle on the floor, and a jump ball is called. Watch the explosion here by Zeb Jackson.
Zeb Jackson ready, march, set, and go. And he elevates Wakaria, just going straight up. So explosive and athletic. He's a sixth man of the year for sure. That kid is fantastic off the bench.
Very prestigious award when somebody wins that in the Atlantic 10. Last year was Nate Santos of Dayton. This year, Zeb Jackson of VCU. 1 point game. Jackson again.
I just keep the ball in his hands and spread the floor and let him make decisions.
Wakaria is on Shoga. Russell picked up by Watson. Russell into the paint. Russell got some space. Shot blocked away. Furman has it. It squirts away. They dive for the loose ball. Edwards comes up with it. And here come the Ramblers.
Everything matters in this game. Loose balls, possessions.
Edwards for three. In and out. Wow. It did everything but go down.
Got to get the ball to your bigger guards inside, just like that.
There you go. 54-51.
Jackson and Shoga, Tom, put the ball in their hands and let them make plays the rest of the game.
Shoga 14 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists.
Atmosphere is absolutely nuts in here right now.
And Rubin fouled going up. 54-51. Max. 3:24 to play here in the second half. 54-51. VCU is on top. Loyola had just taken the lead a few moments ago, but VCU has climbed back on top for the right to go on to the A-10 championship game. Along with Chris Walker, A.J. Ross, I'm Tom McCarthy. We send our best out to Sister Jean, who's back watching at home, watching her Ramblers and watching them play hard. I mean, this has turned out to be an excellent game. 105 years young, Sister Jean. The atmosphere here at Capital One Arena is as good as it gets, with so many VCU fans who have kind of brought the Siegel Center to D.C. But the Loyola fans, they've been heard, there's no doubt.
Don't forget about those scarves.
Don't forget the scarves.
Don't forget about those scarves. So cool.
Loyola has heeded the pleas from Drew Valentine today to get to the boards. They have 20 offensive boards. Miles Rubin's had a big part of that. And to the free throw line, and he does not convert. Rubin is just a plus 50% free throw shooter.
Something that's plagued them all year is that free throw line, Tom. They're going to win this game. They're probably going to have to knock down some free throws in a pressure situation.
And he missed both. Shoga, double-double now for Max Shoga. The traditional way. 14 points, 10 rebounds. He had 11 assists yesterday, but only 2 points.
Keep the ball in Jackson's hands. Allow him to create and make plays. He or Shoga.
Shot clock is at 5. Shoga hesitates. Shoga goes to the paint. Fouled from behind by Quinn.
Good action. That dribble handoff, DHO becomes a de facto ball screen because they're coming together. Instead of him dribbling off, he's handed it off. So, again, Rubin has to make a decision on how he's going to guard the ball screen. You don't have to guard Furman out there because Furman can't make a shot out there. You got to keep those guards out of the lane.
And a reminder, that foul happened on the floor, so they're just inbounding. For Loyola, that was the 16th foul. The next one will send VCU to the free throw line. Shoga against Edwards. Shoga double team. They slip it to Furman. Short initially, but he got the friendly roll.
All due to penetration by Shoga because he's very difficult to stop. VCU on a 6-0 run, you, their crowd's starting to get into it. Loyola's got to answer here.
2.5 to play. Edwards, fadeaway jumper, tough shot, no good. Clark rebound. Drew Valentine gave a double thumbs up on that.
It's still a 2-possession game. You got to dig in defensively. 2 minutes to go. It's an eternity. Got to be smart. But if I'm VCU, next foul's in the bonus. Keep it in the hands of your 2 players that can get in the paint and also great free throw shooters.
That ball was deflected, so no backcourt. Jeff Clark gave that signal almost immediately. Jackson draws the contact, doesn't get the foul.
Oh, tough one there. Good no call, though.
Russell, got to be careful with your hands at midcourt. The freedom of movement is so important. Officials have looked at that so much. And that pass went into the first row. Each team has had one of those. All right, so how about this? You were a shooter. What would you have wanted here?
You got to allow him to come down. No, that's good defense right there. Good defense. Zeb Jackson initiated the contact. Sheldon Edwards. And then Shoga again. You know, Miles Rubin coming over, helping. You can't do that. You got to be careful. If you do that, someone else on the weak side has to rotate over and cover for you.
We mentioned the combination of points, rebounds, assists for Shoga that nobody's done in the Atlantic 10 since Rick Brunson did it. Well, he's doing it today. It's the same exact thing today. Here he goes to the baseline.
Good defense. They switch there.
Jackson slips it inside for Firm and good.
Again, as I said, Tom, give it to Shoga, give it to Jackson, and allow them to make plays, and that's what they've done thus far. Just smart coaching by Ryan Odom, but definitely needs an answer here.
Dawson tries to force it. Probably not the shot he wants. He's had a tough day.
Got to trap. You got to trap. You got to get after him. Not enough time. They're just going to extinguish the clock. You got to get after him.
7-point game. Too many passes being allowed here.
Too many passes.
Russell thought about it. Russell leaves it for Clark, and whoa, what a tough shot. He'll go to the free throw line. Such basic basketball, fundamentally sound here.
This is just driving the baseline. Someone's got to come over to help. No help. You know why they don't help? Because they're shooters around the arc. They don't want to leave the three-point shooters. And when he drives, sees Park, Furman, all he has to do is make a bunny.
VCU fans are kind of feeling it now. You can sense it over Ryan Odom's shoulder as Clark will go to the free throw line.
This is important. Again, it hasn't ended yet. 46 ticks. Anything can happen in college basketball. But if VCU gets to the championship, right? And I'm one of those guys. I could be in the minority. Certainly all of the brass and the A-10 are on my side. I believe this team's an at-large team. I believe this team, no matter what happens in the championship, this team can easily be a Sweet 16 team in the NCAA tournament. And you're seeing why they score 80 points a game. They make 10 threes. But today, Tom, they only got 6 threes. And they're playing in the mud. And they're coming out nice and clean.
Second shot is no good. Ball pinballs around off the top of the backboard and back. And it will be Loyola basketball with 44.5 to play. All right, you want to pressure a little bit right here for VCU, right?
Maybe. I don't think you open the floor up because all they want to do is get a quick 2.
Right.
But again, you know, you get Jalen Quinn going downhill, and that's not a good recipe if they can find a guy in a driving kick situation.
Edwards trying to get some separation for 3. He's fouled for 3. That is not a good foul by Russell.
It's not. And again, Ryan Odom is a lot smarter coach than me. But again, as I said, when you open up the floor, now you get people scrambling in a full court situation. And now you have to catch up. And now this is what happens with Sheldon Edwards is going to go to the line for 3 free throws. Definitely a foul.
Yeah, he just got under him as he was letting that ball go.
But it's better to keep guys in front of you,
right,
and make them have to make a number of passes so some time goes off the clock. That was pretty quick.
First free throw attempt of the day for Edwards. It rattles it home.
Well, think about it. If he knocks the next 2 down, it's a 2-possession game.
With plenty of time left.
With plenty of time left, and anything could happen.
And a ton of timeouts also for Loyola. They have 3. VCU has 2.
They certainly will extend the game, but you got to get a trap first. You don't have to foul right away. I'm sure VCU is going to try to enter the ball into Zeb Jackson and Shoga, both elite free throw shooters. But as I say about analytics, the question is, with 38 seconds on the clock, what kind of free throw shooter are you? Not what you've done all year long.
Well, he makes all three to make it a 5-point game, 59-54. Edwards will check out. Lucoria will check back in.
Cannot allow Zeb Jackson to get the basketball. He's shooting about 90% from the line. There it is right there. That was a steal.
Here's Watson going to the basket. Watson up off the glass. No good. The ball out of bounds off Clark. It'll be Loyola basketball.
Wow, no foul there. Think about it. Again, as I said before, you don't want the 90% three-point shooter to get it. I mean, free throw shooter to get it. You throw it the other way, and they turn the basketball over. Zeb Jackson, Des Watson just had a tough day. That would have been a tremendous layup right there to make this a one-possession game. But here they are again.
Yeah, it may be a tough day, but he could have a good finish.
Yes, he could. Look for some type of handoff possibly for Jalen Quinn with his right hand coming in from out of bounds.
Quinn to Edwards. Edwards launches short off the side of the rim. Saved by Dawson, who is kicked, and he falls to the floor. He's going to go back to the free throw line with 27.9 to play.
This game just, again, coming down to toughness, sprinting. Zeb Jackson did not box out. I didn't see the trip there.
Well, Dawson, he and Watson have combined to miss 19 straight shots, but he's going to the free throw line. His first of the day, converts. And again, if he makes this one, it's a one-possession game.
Set the trap up. You don't have to foul right away. Remember, Zeb Jackson's their elite free throw shooter. You don't want him touching the basketball. You put two on him for someone else to get it. Oh, the miss.
Big miss.
Still got a chance to. Again, you don't have to foul right away. See if you can trap Jack Clark and make him make a pass and then foul.
I don't think Deloach wanted to foul him there.
And that's the thing about coaching in these special situations. And you see Miles Rubin checking in here.
Well, Deloach is fouled out, so he's going to get serenaded as he leaves from the VCU faithful.
It's hard, but it's fair, Tom. It's hard, but it's fair.
Deloach will foul out with 8 rebounds today, 3 points. Clark to the line.
Got to knock these down.
He makes the first one. He's 2 of 3.
Still two-possession game. If he makes this, if he misses this, shall I say, they can still sprint down, get a layup, set up their press. This is an eternity. We've been watching March Madness. If you've been watching any of these games at the end, they don't end until it's zeros on the clock. There's a lot of strategy that goes involved and a lot of pressure in these last second situations.
Clark's second free throw. It's good. Nothing but net. Bell is in. Russell's out. They go with a larger lineup. Again, last year VCU made it to the A-10 championship, but lost to Duquesne.
Yeah, Jimmy King, Day Grant, as I wanted to say earlier, those two guys. Keith Dambrot won a tournament game. 8 different teams have won this tournament in the last 8 years. It shows you the competitiveness of this league.
Watson, step back 3. Can he get it to go? No. The ball's tipped around, saved by Clark, and he called a timeout.
What a heads-up play by the veteran.
So smart. 61-55, 16.3 to play. This is a decision by Clark after the save to use one of the 2 timeouts left by VCU. He got control. Otherwise, he would have given the ball right back to Loyola.
Yeah, just a heads-up play. That was the play they brought back. That was not legal last year, and they allowed it to come back.
All right, let's talk about what's going to happen here. How fast does Loyola foul once the ball's inbound?
Right away. You're down. It's really technically still a 2-possession game. You make 2 threes, but you got to get a steal and foul right away. The question is, I would foul Jennings, the freshman, if you can.
Well, they get it in to Zeb Jackson. That's who they fouled. Jennings, the freshman, went the other way.
And I've seen these situations, Tom. You get a guy like Zeb Jackson, who's an elite free throw shooter. They go to the line. It don't always work out that way, but if he can knock these down, it's going to be really tough for Loyola Chicago, particularly the way Dawson and Watson have shot the ball today.
Jackson is so far 1 for 2 from the free throw line, and he converts the first one. And that'll make it a 7-point game, 62-55. Edwards back in. They go offense in, defense out.
And at this point in time, it would take a collection of bad things to happen for VCU. It's almost academic now.
Second shot. It's no good. In and out. Edwards with the rebound. Quickly up the floor. Time winding down. 10 seconds left. Edwards working against Shoga. Edwards lets it go for 3. No good. Ball tipped around. Picked up by Clark. The seconds will wind out. And VCU, the regular season champs, will move on to the Atlantic 10 championship game. A hard-fought 62-55 victory over Loyola Chicago. The 1 seed remains alive. And that wasn't easy.
That wasn't easy, Tom. It was a sensational game. You got to take your hat off to Loyola. They were undeterred. They were not afraid. They were physical. They went at them. They took the lead. But again, the class of this league this season, the VCU Rams did what they had to do and got it done. And now they're moving on to the championship once again.
Loyola missed 12 of their last 13 shots. VCU made 3 of its last 4. Ryan Odom sees the final seconds kind of wind down, and Max Shoga had a Max Shoga kind of game. 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists for the Rams, who are going back to the title game, but this time as the #1 seed. Pretty impressive. They win the regular season title, a share of the regular season title with George Mason. And for the Atlantic 10, the 1 seed moves on to the championship. So at least for the moment, Chalk is alive.
Ain't nothing.
Let's check in with A.J. Ross, who's with Ryan Odom.
Coach, regular season champs. Now you're going for a 3rd time to the A-10 tournament championship. You mentioned how tough it was watching that confetti come down last year, and it wasn't for you guys. How special is this, making it back with this team this year?
No doubt about it. It's really special. But before that, I want to say Loyola, they played a heck of a game. All right, Coach Valentine and his team, they really battled. They gave us all we could handle here tonight. Obviously, we have a tremendous crowd here uplifting us, and we weren't perfect tonight. But we finally figured it out and toughed it out, down the stretch. But, yeah, we're going to get a chance tomorrow to play another really good team. This league is great. It gets disrespected, quite honestly, a lot of times this time of year. We got really good coaches and really good players in this league.
And your depth, your defense was on full display. You mentioned this crowd. It felt like a home game.
Yeah.
How much of a factor will they be in the championship, do you think, for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, they're always a factor. The Ram Nation, they travel. It's been really special all year. Siegel's been packed all year. And we're just really fortunate to have the fans.
Congratulations, Coach.
Awesome. Thanks.